Well, good morning. So I woke up to no power in the shop or the house. Fortunately, we just had a new generator installed at the house. $2,800 for the installation because it needed a new transfer switch. But anyway, and a new generator for $3,000. So that's a lot of money. Anyway, ready to start the tiny house. And I was going to show you the materials list. It's kind of dark in here. The sun is shining outside. It's beautiful. It's going to be a great day to work on it. So I'm taking my materials list, going to the lumberyard, going to pick up what I need to get started. So let's enjoy this adventure. Tiny house, basically 8 by 16 is going to be the size of it on the trailer. Well, Kaya and I are back from shopping. We've been, let me just get her tied here for a minute. So I had to make 2 stops. I cleaned them out of stuff, interestingly, to make a little tiny house. So I have 2 different kinds of insulation. One store only had 2-inch, the other only had 1.5 inches. And all the 2x4 12s at the first store were really twisted, terrible shape. They'd been picked through pretty good. I only was able to find 9, so I had to go to the other place, get 5 more. So what's on the truck is $1,050 so far. So that's where we're at. And I've found windows that I'm going to get. Those will be some really cool looking windows for a tiny house. So this tiny house is actually, it's going to work well as a hunting camp, just a cabin in the woods if you want it, or whatever it could be. It's a lot of multiple uses, not necessarily just a tiny house. If I made it to a tiny house, then there's so many codes and regulations you have to follow, and I'm not into that at this point. I'm just going to do the shell, finish the exterior to code. Everything will be fine. I am going to insulate the floor. That's why I picked up the insulation, because you won't be able to do that from underneath, so later on. So I'm going to do it now, and then it'll be ready. So Kaya and I are going to unload this. I'm going to unload this. All the lumber is out here. All the sheet goods and insulation I put in under the overhang. I'll cover this up. It's supposed to be rain. Not today. Today's a beautiful day. I obviously could have had all this material delivered, but I wanted to hand pick it and make sure I got good stuff, because when it's delivered you never know. Quite often it's good, but once in a while there's a piece you can't use, and I've figured it pretty close for this project. Also, take a peek at this. Little side note. I just got this fixed, and I've sold this, and I want to make sure it was good for the person that bought it. It needed a new carburetor. I think it was around $20, $25. But everything is good now. First pull. So that'll be leaving here soon. Speaking of leaving here soon, I'm delivering 2 e-bikes today. Meeting the folks halfway. They're about I think 4.5 hours from here. So it's a nice day. It's a beautiful day for a ride. Semi-retirement. I just love it. So I'll load these on. This is the Jan Snow. Really nice bike. Make sure I don't scratch it. Won't bore you with loading these. I have one more to load. They bought 2 of them. So I got half a day into going to the lumber yard, loading everything, checking out windows, make sure they were what I want. And I think they're going to be pretty special. Okay, pups. And we made it back. What a trip. So it's actually the next day from after I loaded the bikes. And so we went and met with Vince and Lisa. We met them halfway. What great folks. They seemed to like Kaya. That was pretty cool. So they gave me some things. Hardwood slabs. He says he has a huge amount of hardwood stored for wood projects that he does. This one, I can't even identify him. He said there was like a maple spelt. He gave me some cherry, some butternut, like 6 or 8 pieces of hardwood that I can plane down and make some small projects with. So that was just a lot of fun. They are great folks. They also gave me another gift, and they gave Sandy he hand turned a wooden spatula. It was awesome. It's really great. It's beautiful. But on my other channel, Ken's Model Railroading, HO Model Railroading, I can't even think of the name of my channel. On that channel, they gave me something else for the railroad. It's pretty cool. That'll come out on a video pretty soon. I'll just be setting the saw here so I can keep the sawdust over on near the outside of the building, but I have so much room now. And so now let's look at the trailer. So the biggest thing is getting the trailer level first. I've watched some videos of people that have built these on trailers without bracing it, and you can see once they get the walls up and they're putting the roof on, the trailer is going like this, and I'm pretty sure you can't get it square if you do that. So I'm going to just brace all 4 corners. This is really solid, and this rail is perfectly straight. I already had some comments about building it on here with kind of a flare out for a wall to get higher, and I did that because this is a foot, so that's going to make it really tall for over the road, and I really want to keep that down to get all the ceiling height that I can. So for now, I'm going to stick with this plan. And you know what? I think I'm going to leave the option of selling the tiny house with the trailer or not. And then maybe if I do another one, if this works well, I'll buy a different trailer that would be like shorter tires, smaller tires. So the ground is down lower and the bed would be flat all the way across. All right. Let's do this. Right now, this is about a 1/2 inch lower than this side. I've left the crank. I've cranked it down, and it's not a lot, but I'll get the back level first, and then I'll just use the jack to pick it up and level the front. So here we go. Good. That might work perfectly. I'll just lower the front. See what that does. A little bit more. Oh, I like that. Good. Okay. Let's go over and take a look at the level, see how we come as I jack it back up. When I go around to the front and crank the trailer up, you can see I can get my hand under here now. This is showing, well, showing this end has to go down to be level completely in the bubble. Let me go crank. How do we do? How do we do? How do we do? That's touching. Touching. Very touching. Okay. So I need to put probably a 1/4 inch shim on that side. I lowered the front of the trailer down. And these are 2 1/8 inch shims. Just put that there. Going back up. How do we do? How do we do? Okay. Tight. Come check this out. Right on. That is perfect. Okay, so this needs to go up pretty substantially. That's 3/4 of an inch to an inch in 4 feet. 16 feet, so 4 times, if it's 4 times 1 inch, that would be 4 inches up. I'm going to start, we'll jack it up, crank it up 3 inches, see where it goes. A little more. Just a pinch too much. I'm going to check the back, the other side. It can go down on this side. So I'll shim that there. I'll bring it down perfect and then shim that. And then this one, when I lower it, the trailer will just flex down. Then I'll have all 4 corners perfect. Yes. Okay. I will not bore you with, I need to scrounge up some blocking material. Woo. All right. All right, this side is perfect. Now for the other side, before the rains come too heavily. Oh, that's right on. All right, I'll just put brace blocking here. The tire, 3 of the tires are still getting traction, so it's not going to fall over either. So that'll be good. Okay, I need blocking for here, and this part is done. First thing, 4x4s. These are 16 feet 2 inches. I'm going to leave them that length. Come out of there, come on. Yeah. I'll pretty much stay right close to the outside, within a couple inches probably. And the 4x4s are in place. So this will be the first cut. What I have is 6'9.5" inside of rail to inside of rail. So I'm going to make this floor 6 feet 8 inches to start with. So I'll cut that. Then there'll be a short 2x coming up with plywood gusset. Down in here will be 1/2 inch CDX sealing this off from the weather, as well as underneath when we get to that. So first step, 6'8" for 2x4. I cut one as a just as a template sample. So it would look something like this. And there'd be a short block there and a short block there. So I didn't take into account that the 4x4, as far as this, I thought it was going to be a bigger step than it was. So if I look at, so some of you have been making comments, thank you very much. Why not put it on top of the rails? Why not build on top? Which, that was originally what I was thinking. But then I thought, no, I have to be able to clear over the road for height. So the one thing that's holding me back from doing this, sitting on there is fine, and I can probably still attach the 4x4 underneath as I go, are these little nubs. They're welded on. I have to take them off if I'm going to do that. So I think I am going to build on top. It will give us just so much more room. It's going to be a lot better. I appreciate somebody mentioning that, and probably by now 100 others have mentioned it. I don't know. It's a great idea. So I'm going to do that. Off to the lumberyard to go to get something to cut that off. Actually finally ready to start doing some building on this. So it's a beautiful day out, sun shining. It's a little cool, but I can now at least put the saw out here. I'll get my workstation all set up and we'll be good to go. I've cut a few studs, or floor joists really. They're 7 feet 9 inches. We'll have an outside perimeter joist on each side. They're 1.5 inches thick, so that's 3 inches plus 7'9", 8 foot. Usually spruce is right on, or maybe a 1/16 over. This was a whole inch over. That's unusual. What I'll do is I'll cut the 2 side perimeter joists, then I'll mark them out on the sawhorses for 2-foot centers is what I'm going to do. Where's my goggles? Here's some carpentry basics. So we're going to space the floor joists 2 feet apart, one on the end. So it's 2 feet to the center, coming back 3/4 of an inch. This time I'm going to mark both sides because of the way we're going to do things. You'll see that in a minute. So I'll mark these all out ahead. I always match these up. If I'm doing 2 the same, then the marks will always be accurate. So I'll transfer it over to both of them. Let's take these over to the trailer and get started. I'll be using pneumatic nailers today for some, just because it's a little quicker. Except for the hoses. You have to get all the hoses out. Plug in the air compressor. Still, the compressor still had air in it. It hasn't run for a month anyway. That's pretty cool. And noise. What a beautiful day. Wow. I'm just temporarily setting that perimeter joist on the rail. I have all the floor joists cut. There'll be 9 of them. And then I have the other perimeter joist cut for there. So it's going to be a little different because it just seems like that's how I end up doing things lately. We'll nail on the first perimeter, first floor joist. This is just like having a table here. Using a 3-inch pressure treated, is that what you call them? Galvanized nails, pressure treated nails. Okay. Again, when I nail, I stay 6 inches away from here, minimum, just so I don't get shot in the hand. Okay, so now we can nail this one together. It's kind of nice, the fender's holding that side up until we get really going here. Okay. I need to get something to rack this. This is a pipe wrench, works really well. You can just put it right on there and rack it whichever way you want. Has to go, this has to twist this way. Easy peasy, as they say. Nice. This is where it gets different. I think I'll remember where I put that. I don't know. So I'm just going to slide it that way. I'm going to insulate the floor with foam, rigid foam, before I put the flooring down. So I'm going to use strapping, and I'm going to secure those. I'll go one on the outside, each outside, and then split the difference in the middle. Just going to screw those on. But first, I need to center this left to right. So I've already screwed on a piece of strapping on this side, inside of the rail, and inside of the rail on that side, so that it can't go left. I left it just like an 1/8 inch loose overall. I made 2 marks here. So I'm going to attach, also look over on this side. I just put a 2x4 across, and I can set these up on there for it to rest on. So I haven't squared anything up yet. I made the measurements exact here to the outside of the rail and to that side. So I have a mark here. Just using sheetrock screws. Seven feet, 9 inches. Well, this is pretty well going to wrap up this video for today. Got a good start. It should be smooth sailing from this point. We'll just start fitting in more and more insulation. Get that floor down. What do you think, Kaya? Kaya's down here watching me. Words of advice? Nope. Okay. Thanks again. Have a great day. Hey, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe. Leave a comment. Hit the like button. Tap the bell. And we'll see you later. Have a great day.